Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is, whether you're in the world, it is your Lore Saviour. And today we're talking about films, primarily in the horror genre, but we're going to be talking about why I've been sharing you my opinions recently on horror films, and Emma back there's taking a sweet fucking time. I'm just waiting for her to catch up before I carry on walking along with the talking element of this vlog. So, this video topic can be broken down into three-ish reasons. The first of which is because I fucking want to. It's my channel, do what I want, and I need to remember that as I go into 2025, with a bit more of a positive attitude towards like viewerships and whatnot. Sure, I'm always going to be a bit annoyed if something doesn't do particularly well, but I just kind of need to accept the fact that things aren't going to be as grand as they once were, and hopefully we can find some new people into our exciting horror-filled genre. I've talked more about like the general updates that I'm going to do in my update video, which is going to like appear on a card right now, so if you want to check that out, I'd really appreciate it. Warning, I'm fucking depressed all the way through that. The second reason is because it kind of occurred to me fairly recently that some of you might have been a bit alienated with me sharing in the community posts and on social media, like doing film reviews on Letterboxd, and copy and pasting most of the time the same bit of text from that onto YouTube community posts. And I feel that some explanation might be needed, or at least that's how I'm legitimising it, because I was going to do this anyway. And the third bit, which is actually the main reason, is that I've had a bit of a catalyst, an epiphany, as it were. The epiphany is serving as the catalyst, I was thinking ahead. I've had an epiphany, as it were, about my relationship, as it were, with horror and films and general media in general. Sort of came about when I watched Nosferatu recently by Robert Eggers, well, the director at least, so go and check out my little review on that. That's going to appear in the corner right about now. And, I feel that voicing this epiphany will be a useful thing in terms of character development and all that, and just getting it out there, making it public. It's something that I want to do, and I feel that it's much needed. I hope, now, if you want to, sit back and then listen to me ramble away about a whole load of nothing, great. If not, I don't mind if you give this video a miss, because we're going into this with a bit more of a positive attitude. So, what the fuck am I going on about? If you were to cast your mind back to October 2024 in the year of our Lord Talos, I was practically posting a film review thing every single day. I was partaking in like a spooky October watchlist thing, sort of done by the horror content creator Haunted Hippie, who does like film reviews and other bits and pieces like that. And she had the task, placed the task upon her subscribers and viewers to watch a horror film each day, and each day had a particular theme to that, and I did it all, and I felt really proud about that. And part of the reason why I wanted to do that is because I just wanted to experience more of this genre that I love so very much. Video games and books I could talk about till the cows come fucking home, but films, not so much. I've never really been much of a film person, contrary to what current belief may suggest. But I just wanted to participate more in this part of the horror, and participate is a very interesting word here, because it kind of leads on to my epiphany, as it were, and my whole, there's this stigma that I have, as it were, towards films in general, is that for the longest time I have seen watching films as a social activity, because they kind of are. You either go out and watch them at a cinema, you book tickets, you get all the popcorn and shit, you sit down together, you have a nice time, you go home, talk about what you've seen, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, etc. and so forth. Or you sit around at home now and watch them on the big screen, or as big screen that your TV will allow, or the wall space would allow, I should say. So it's a bit of a social activity, with friends, family, whatever that may well be. And this might not surprise a lot of you, I've never exactly had a lot of friends. Part of it's like a social anxiety thing, some of it is the fact of, autism, and socialising and fitting into groups, so to speak, is a bit of a challenge. It's not through a lack of trying, of course, but it's always just been that little bit difficult for me, and I'm sure anybody here who's a bit on the anxious side and or autistic, great if you've got depression on top of that, which just sort of affects your self-worth, just how difficult that may be. You may be able to empathise, or at the very least sympathise with all of that. Now, I did have friends at school, or at least very good acquaintances, now I'm looking back on it, but my interest was always different from theirs. Like, they're very much into, like, their, you know, action, shoot 'em up, Call of Duty sort of things. If we're talking about video games and, like, you know, more accessible films, shall we say. Me, not so much. Like, the things I wanted to do and watch did tend to lead more towards horror, and with regarding video games, fucking huge JRPG nut. Final Fantasy, bits of Dragon Quest, the Tales of series, Pokemon, White Knight Chronicles. Like, I'm a fucking weeb through and through with that shit. And I didn't really could connect much. And another weird thing is that, regarding horror at least, is that I never considered myself a horror fan until like 2017, 18, that sort of period. I know that may sound as a really fucking weird thing to say, but when you're at school and we're talking about that accessible stuff, where horror to most people at school or whatever would define horror as like a gore, blood splattering zombie fest. You know, so put that in video game terms, Resident Evil. I do a lot of video games. Video games is like a huge fucking passion of mine, so I'm going to make those comparisons to make things easy for myself. So stuff like that. And I didn't like zombies. I still don't like zombies, and as I did in a post recently, I'm trying to do my best to kind of overcome that phobia a bit. You can blame my fucking dad for that one, for forcing his 3-year-old to play fucking Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. Might have been 4, I don't exactly remember, but point is, too young, traumatised, it's fucked me up for life. So I'm trying to come over that a little bit. And I think I'm making good progress with that. Which is another reason, I guess. But if we go back to that whole social thing, if that was how horror was explained and experienced from the school playground discussion, as it were, of course I wouldn't see the fucking ghost, vampire, werewolf, Silent Hill sort of thing as a horror experience. I found it creepy, and these things that I enjoy fill me a sense of dread, which isn't to say that horror involving zombies and guts and gore isn't valid. Of course it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. I did do a tweet once, actually, that I claimed otherwise, and that's very fucking pretentious of me. You know, I just prefer a different element, and those just didn't count. I can remember when The Woman in Black came out, and that was just a bit of a piss take. I fucking like that film. I really did enjoy that one. You know, the one that Daniel Radcliffe did after the whole fucking Harry Potter shit. Or during or whatever, you know, it's what he did after that. I thought that was a great film. But, you know, people didn't see that as horror because people were just taking a piss all the time, and thought, okay. And it's only really when I sort of learnt the term Lovecraftian that I started to realise that all the shit I've been doing growing up is, in fact, horror. But Lore, surely you would have seen like conversations and whatnot online as well. Well, that's the other thing. Despite being of that generation who experienced pretty much every version of Windows and like the birth of the internet, as it were, as a social platform, I didn't really use the internet all that much. I kind of don't much now anyway. I don't really use it. Well, maybe not the same way I think a lot of other people would expect someone of my generation and age and particular hobbies too. I don't use Reddit. I've never really used 4chan. Like, I didn't start using Facebook until I was fucking 16. And it was only to keep in touch with people that I liked who left school to go and do other things. I didn't. I just played fucking video games, read books, and my YouTube usage at that point was to fucking listen to music. And even then, that was just limited to fucking YouTube videos. So with all those elements in mind, if there was anything that I wanted to go and watch, which was very rare to be fair, because, you know, I would just wait till the DVD came out, I felt that I couldn't because I didn't have like the right friends to go out with, or if it wasn't that, it would have been going out with my mum, which of course didn't like half the fucking shit that I was into, and thought it was like too bad, too violent, whatever, you know, as any decent parent would do regarding the things that I liked. And I should really just stop worrying about trying to fit in, but that's just like a general autistic problem though, isn't it? Or neurodiverse one, and we just expand that a little bit. Is that's kind of why I've never been a film person, because I've never really had the right people to go out with and enjoy these things with and feel that I need to. Because I always thought it would be like a weird fucking thing if one person just turned up to a cinema by themselves. It's a bit sad and pathetic. Hooray for media and Hollywood and the rest of it depicting it as such. Especially with these days when streaming is a thing. And also a thing that's kind of got me excited and watching it a bit more is through my partner, because we've watched some things together and they kind of encouraged me to give Letterboxd a go because of their reasoning for using it. Like there's a whole like a diary thing where you can see the films you watched on which day, and you can look back and go, oh yes, we did such and such on that day, blah blah blah. You know, it's that element that I really enjoyed with it. Also, I fucking love reviewing things. I love giving my opinions on things, so that's helped as well. And I know that might seem a bit egotistical, as it were, but if I'm being totally honest, part of my love language regarding my autism is like sharing and info dumping the things that I like, which is also fed into one's anxiety because I won't share things that I like with people unless I know that they like them. Or I could try, and if they don't like it, I fucking clam up. It's part of the reason why I did a fucking YouTube channel, or I've carried on as long as I've done, to be honest, because yeah, it started out as like wanting to help people and educate it, but the more I've done it and got into it, it just became a sharing a passion that I love. It's why I've done these like larger vlogs, like how to run X game. It's part being helpful and part showing like, I really enjoy doing this, you can too. Here's why I enjoy this element so much. And you know, as I said, doing stuff with my partner and finally having that somebody, you know, to enjoy this hobby with, I've been able to trust in myself and watch things that I want to watch without having to worry about, you know, alienating friends and family, I guess. Even with the Nosferatu thing, I only saw that in the cinema as quickly as I did because a friend mentioned it in conversation. And I went, oh, well, I've wanted to see that too. We can, you know, watch it together sometime, you know, go to our local cinema. And even if they said no or they couldn't, I would have fucking gone anyway, because I now don't care. I really wanted to see that film, and I'm really glad that I did watch that film. Regarding Nosferatu, like, I know I did like a much longer written review on the YouTube community posts and Letterboxd and social media in general, and I didn't do like a video review for the views. That wasn't actually part of it at all. I was just really excited and just wanted to talk about it with people. I could have talked a bit more about it on my personal Facebook, but I know that for one reason or another, no one really likes the stuff that I put on there. That's never really been the case for me, which, you know, it is what it is. But in this corner of the TTRPG sphere, there are people who are, and I have essentially found my people. And me saying that out loud has been like that fucking light bulb epiphany moment that's kind of become the fucking sun right now, because I hadn't acknowledged that until now, which is really weird. Kind of sad in a sense too, but you know, I'd much rather realise this element of community and happiness now than not realise it at all, you know. Rather late than never, I always say. Yeah, and it's just, I don't have to worry about taking people out to the cinema, or if I want to suggest something to do, I don't have to, you know, make sure, worry too much if people are going to like it, because, as I said, if that friend hadn't gone with me, I would have taken myself, you know, bought 2 tickets so I didn't have anybody potentially bug me, you know, put myself first for a change, you know, and just, I don't have to worry about that. I can just enjoy things. I don't have to worry about the FOMO, you know, fear of missing out, like, well, beyond fucking streaming services removing things because they're cunts, but I could do things in my own time. There's like, I shouldn't have to worry about that stuff anymore, and I'm not going to. So that's kind of where I am at the moment, like, just enjoying watching things when I can by myself, because that's just how I've always operated, really, at once lonesome, for better and for worse, and just enjoy things my way without, you know, trying to blend in with the normies, as it were, like, or in neurodiverse terms, mask. I don't have to do any of that anymore, and I think that's a really great place to do that. Now, obviously, I don't want to upset people at all, or like make people feel so alienated that they don't like me. Of course I don't. You know, I'm not some sort of degenerate freak, you know, contrary to certain belief. Not a monster by any means. At least I don't think so anyway. As much as I'd love to be a vampire or a werewolf, or, you know, a weird blend of the two, I don't think I'm an unpleasant person. You know, it can be a bit blunt sometimes. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Like, this is kind of where I am, you know, regarding how I enjoy things and share them online. I don't have to worry about whether people actually like it or not, per se. You know, as I said, regarding YouTube, it would be nice if people liked what I did. But I'm just gonna, you know, continue sharing them what I like, and if people like it, great. If they don't, well, that's their fucking loss, I guess. One way or another. So I'll carry on doing these little reviews, and if it ends up me doing like full fucking fledged movie reviews in the future, I may well do that. I'm obviously going to be talking about non-horror World of Darkness things. I actually started to do that recently. We talked about Chainsaw. There's a TTRPG that I saw called Astro Prisma, which is like the most gorgeous fucking thing I've ever seen in TTRPG form, and I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to do more with Pendragon. I've got some ideas to Call of Cthulhu, you know, and Cyberpunk as well. And I also want to do like really fucking miscellaneous shit, like I just want to show off the books that I've got, because I know that you lot would be fucking interested in all that, because it's mainly World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade. And show off dice, because I know that people like that. It's like really fucking dumb shit. Like, I'm excited about all these things. I want to share this love of what I have with people. And if you like it, that's great. If not, that's fine. You know, I just want to... Not to say that I want things to be positive for the sake of being positive. Like, if something shit comes up, I'm going to talk about it. It's just... I'm just going to... Basically what I'm saying, I'm just going to try and enjoy this hobby and life a bit more. And honestly, compared to where I was this time last year, or even fucking last night to be honest, I think that's a tremendous progress, and I'm just going to pat myself on the back for that, as much as my hand will allow me. And I know what some of you are thinking, oh, if you're feeling better and a bit, you know, more up in the world as it were, you're going to be doing more lore content, because we got that Kinfolk episode recently, and the Church of Cain. Yes and no. Do remember that I write these episodes in advance. So actually we are entering that point now where I decided I wasn't going to do as many lore dives, so there's not going to be a lot of that for a bit. Like, I also did say in my channel update thing that I wanted to finish wrapping up the werewolf stuff. So soon you're going to get an episode on the Triad, which is the Weaver, the Wild, and the Worm. I believe in that order as well. There's a bit on Ronin. The Tribalist Guru. At some point you're going to get an episode on the Skin Dancers. Samuel Haight, we're going to put those two together. We've also got the Tribes. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening before all of that as well. You know, covering the changing breeds and Pentex, and I think that's when I'm going to put like the lore dives to bed. But I want to finish up the Welsh stuff because I've started it, and I don't want to, you know, finish it. And if I want to like do something else lore dive wise, I can pick that up again, you know. But I do want to do other things, and you know, once I've done that, which to be fair is going to take up most of this year, if not all of this year, depending on how I break things up for my sanity, might go into next year as well. But I do want to like do other stuff and not do stuff as regularly as weekly, as much to the channel detriment as it will be, although to be fair, it hasn't been doing well for the last few years now. So yeah, there is lore stuff coming, but it's because I've already planned it, and I've already written it, or I'm about to write it, or I've already recorded it. So it's not like I'm gonna start getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, he's gonna do Mage, he's gonna do Change, and he's gonna do Chronicle Darkness. Like, no, I'm gonna carry on doing what I enjoy doing, and if I want to do more again, I will fucking well do more. If there's something that really fascinates me, I'll do that as well. So in short, new me, new year. Probably as closest as I'm ever going to get to doing that, but you know, it's basically me just putting myself first, and I'm really happy with that bit of character development, as it were. And if it just seems a bit of emotional cringe, because I know there's going to be that one fucking cunt who's going to like take a little pop about me being all emotional and whatnot, as it always is whenever I pour my heart out to something like that. But you know what? You can go and sit on a fat one and swivel me. Just like I'm swiveling on your mum's cock. Anywho, give me some films you think I might like, primarily horror related because that's what I'm really enjoying at the moment. He says nearly 30 years old and that's pretty much all that he's consumed video game wise. You know, film, horror, cyberpunk, you know, just, it doesn't actually have to be any of those things. If you think that I'm the sort of person that will enjoy it, of course whilst you're down there just sharing all these wonderful ideas and whatnot, you can check out the various Vampire the Masquerade books that I really like, that you can include in your games, that I think will make them a lot better. Now, if you purchase them with those links, I will get some of the money back, so I can continue to do really cool shit like this and other cool possible scenarios, you know, TTRPG, horror related, or basically whatever takes my fancy at that given moment. Because it'd be really cool if you not show enthusiasm for like the how to run game stuff that I'm wanting to do. I mean, I'm going to do it regardless because I enjoy doing that sort of shit and it'll be helpful, but it'd also be really cool if, you know, we had a lot of buzz for people who wanted to learn how to run Way of the Apocalypse or Way of the Dark Ages. I've got a Wraithborn coming up actually, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm actually starting to running those games for those videos this week, so that's pretty exciting. And just, so I might as well do one for Vampire as well, because I did one for a one-shot, like actual designing a homebrew sort of thing in a RPG Day vlog. So yeah, if you, there's actually not a lot out there about running Vampire Chronicles. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe if I'll do one for the Anarchs, maybe I'll do one for the Camarilla and the Sabbat. I actually had a request this morning actually about how to run, you know, a Sabbat Chronicle. Now I had a general like how to roleplay the Sabbat, but an actual Sabbat Chronicle. Would you like that? One for the Camarilla, one for the Anarchs, Dark Ages 2, Victorian Age. There's a whole host of possibilities here. And providing that I have the right idea and inspiration for it, I'll do it. Because if I enjoy it, I'm going to have a fun time doing it, you know? I do actually have a very specific how to run vampire thing coming up. At least in the line of work, as it were. Like how to run like an all clan or bloodline. Like every single player of a particular clan or bloodline. I'm not going to tell you much more about that one because there's a very top secret thing. I've kind of teased here, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts and things as well. Purchase those books to enjoy your games. If you can't, that's fine. What you can do instead, as well as, is to like, share and subscribe to all that I do. And I'll see you on the next upload, whatever that may well be for you. He says try not to fucking fall over ass over tit. And until next time, farewell.